Hello everybody, again welcome back to the channel. Beautiful day here, beginning of August. We just had Swiss National Day here, which was the 1st of August, and lots of fireworks, although I didn't hear that many this year for some reason. I guess it's quite hot and dry. People are just sort of, yeah, lots of Swiss flags out and about. Even myself, I sport a Swiss flag at the house next to my American flag because I've been here for 30 years almost. So I've been living in Europe for more than half my life. So I'm a bit, Europeanized in a lot of things, but you got to adapt, that's how it works out. Anyway, we're going to talk about tools today. And, well, a little bit different tools than a lot of people might expect for outdoors, bushcraft, that kind of stuff like that, survival. And yeah, I'll be right back with you. Hello everybody, welcome back again. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. And a lot of you are just coming in, watching the videos, popping out. I don't mind that, but it helps, if you were to subscribe, it helps me a lot trying to grow this channel. And the more subscriptions, the more views, the more likes, it helps to spread the word around and get my videos out there. This is I've been a pleasure so far. Last, I don't know, it's been 3 or 4 years I've been doing this. I have over 400 videos. I try to do 2 videos a week for you guys. Not always easy, but I try anyway. And some of them are good, some of them aren't very good. I can always tell by how many views they've gotten. And some of them get very few, and some of them get a lot. So anyway, I really appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed, do please subscribe. And give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment down below. I read all the comments. Even the ones that are a little bit shaky. Some people tend to, over-opinionated, but that's okay. That's okay. We work through that and we'll talk about it. I listen to what everybody's got to say. There's always something to learn out there, always something new to learn, And don't forget to share with your friends and enemies, because your enemies, they also have a right to be bored by my videos. Anyway, let's go on with the video. As you know, there are like 5 tools that most bushcrafters should probably think about carrying with them in the outdoors. I don't have all 5 of them with me here today. I left a few of them at home because, well, those tools you know about, and one of them is a good fixed blade knife, which I recommend. Get yourself a good fixed blade knife. It could be whatever it is, something that's going to be solid enough that can take a beating, a bashing, but also something that's easy to sharpen and will hold on to a sharpen really easy. This right here happens to be a beautiful knife that I've got from it's called the Udud, and it's from Falkeneven. I've had this knife for a very, very long time. As you can see, this is not the original color of the sheath that it came in. It was like a really light color, colorless. Also exists in black also, and I think I've seen these out here with a plastic Kedix type sheath also, which why not, but I like this little knife right here. It's become my favorite knife, even though I have a Andy Woods Ray Mears knife that I've had a lot longer than I here, but I got it probably about the same time. But this right here is my go-to knife. It's one of the best knives that I've had. It's got a beveled blade. It's a little more round, and which it's got a lot more strength in the blade itself. I found, okay, my experience. Another tool a lot of people carry out with them is a good hand axe, or a good axe, like a felling axe. This right here. This happens to be one I've had for a long time. You see all those little grooves and marks in it. Well, this is from my beloved Tex, who's no longer with us. He passed away about 3 years ago now. And matter of fact, I was just talking to my daughter about him yesterday, or day before yesterday, and even she, she misses him. We all miss him a whole lot. But he chewed gnawed on this in the back of the truck one day. So, but I just cleaned it up, sanded it down, re-oiled it, and it's still working. Keep it nice and sharp, and got but it's a medium size, and this right here is a good size for me to take with me. I have a bigger one for felling, this kind of like that, but this right here they're really good size for me, and I'm really happy with it. This axe right here, and you can do a lot with a sharp axe that you can't do with other tools. And this axe right here can do a whole lot with, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Of course, the next tool in that list would be a saw. Okay, and this right here happens to be an Agawa. I think it's a 26-inch saw right here. It all pops out with the blade. This kind of thing. It's a bow saw is what it is, and I like it. It's a really good saw. Now I've had bow saws, and I also have the small. This is my first little hand saw right here, but it's just really too small for a lot of the work that I want to do. So I here will do it a much better. Takes a lot less effort to cut or to buck, we say, you know. But this right here is your very traditional Laplander folding handsaw, you know, which is, I've had this right here for almost 20 years, and I've changed the blade once, so I have that with me also. Then after that, you're going to have those three tools. You're going to have two other tools. One's going to be a curved knife, which I don't have with me, and that's for when you want to make spoons or bowls, this kind of stuff like that. It comes in handy. And the last one is an owl, this will have on a Swiss Army knife, or you can have a handmade one or something like that. And that is it's basically used for sewing, penetrating through materials, leathers, this kind of stuff. If you want to sew something together, that comes in handy for that. You know, so that's your 5 basic tools that I recommend, and my education wise, everybody recommends to carry with you. Now, of course, you have guys who will carry, you know, double the tools. I see a lot of this pictures, people presenting double the tools, this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, why are you going to carry all those tools? You know, you don't need all those tools. Also, you don't need to carry all those tools if you're going out with a buddy. Okay, one of you carry an axe, one of you carry a saw. You know, so you don't need to carry an axe and a saw. Also, for prioritizing, you know, I'm in Central Europe to north of Europe. You have mostly softwood, so an axe comes in much more handy than you would like if you're in the southern part of the United States, where you have a lot more, or mid United States, we have a lot more hardwood. Okay, there it'd be best to have a good you know, a saw, you know, to saw through things. So be aware of that. So if you are going to travel more north, bring yourself an axe, and with an axe you can do a lot more with it. It's much easier to cut through things than it would be a saw, you know, because saw is going to use it primarily for bucking, and up there, you know, if you got a lot more soft wood, you can just cut it through with an axe, and there you go. It actually cuts faster quite often. It's not going to be straight lines, but it's going to make it so you're able to do that, you know. So because it's a tool, and it's used for building and for helping you to burn fire, constructing a if I can get it out of my mouth, constructing a shelter on this kind of stuff. Also, you can use your knife and your saw and your axe for cutting through bone, helping skin an animal, this kind of stuff. So all this comes in handy for that. So, but let's go into some extra ones. Okay, I'm in the Army. I carried an e-tool, and I find them to be too heavy to carry. But little small mini e-tools are really good. Here's one from, I don't know who made this thing right here, and it's quite clean because I don't really use it, and I have a bunch of them actually. And it's a little trowel, and here's the one that I use a lot, and I've actually painted it because here's one that I had in the Army, and it's got a 550 cord on it. And this one right here, if you want to quickly, you know, dig a spot to use the toilet, you know, you can use a trowel to do that with. Okay, and so these come in handy for that. Also around the fire, if you want to clear out around the fire, dig down, or whatever you want to do, a trowel will work for that. So a trowel is a really good little tool, especially like I said, if you want to, for toiletry, you know, you want to dig down below, deeper than, you know, almost a foot down is what you want to do. Get down below the natural soil, get down into, you know, and that way when you do your business, it's trapped down there. Okay, and it's not too close to the surface where animals can find it. They can sniff it out, you know. That's why we bury the dead about 6 feet, more than 3 feet down, so that way animals don't come in and dig them up. Okay, But this right here's a pretty nice one right here. It's a little bit more, it's a bendy one. It's a little bit more fiddly, but actually it's pretty good. And it's stainless steel. It's rust-free stainless steel. So there you go. And I like about it, it actually folds up compact, and I can stick it inside of this little sheath right here. You can wear it on your belt if you wanted to, but I don't suggest that. You can slip it right down on the side pouch of your rucksack, and there you go, okay? Another hand tool, of course, and you can get, this is a Gerber, and they have different blades on it right here for green wood or for dry wood, and this also is a handsaw, which I happen to have. I have these because I teach classes. Some people don't always have a handsaw, so this sort of helps them out a little bit. But anyway, another tool, a lot of people, if they're wood badgers, they're in the outdoors, they're doing camping, this kind of like that, and that would be something if you want to build, something, you might have one of these augers right here, okay, with a handle, okay, you can slide in there and you can use it to make holes in if you're going to try to build a log cabin, or if you want to build a structure, and instead of using cord, you can use dowels that you can make yourself, and you can stick them in there. And so this is another good tool to have, okay? Now these also exist, the old school ones that are a little bit bigger, which I happen to have also. I didn't bring it out here with me because I thought, well, you know what I'm talking about. But it's also an auger, an old school hand auger that's used to that turns. It's actually quite easy. It's a little bit easier to use. It's just it's bigger and heavier, and it takes a lot more space. Now another tool that I like to use, and we use these in the Army too when I was in a certain kind of unit, and that are secateurs actually. And what I like about these right here is that you can quickly go into the woods, you can cut branches, you can also process small wood with them right here that's dry or wet for your fireplace, or if you're building a shelter or something like that, you want to quickly go in and cut them without having to rip them off the tree. You can cut through. It's much easier than ripping plants, and it looks bad, okay? It looks really bad having all these limbs ripped off these trees, especially the pine or the spruce trees. So anyway, so these are just a few trees, and these are actually gardening tools also. You can get them in a gardening place, and especially these items right here are a small handsaw. You'll find these in your garden center. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of big money on it. You can get the ones, the cheapest you can find that's solid enough. If you're not out there living this every day, you're gonna need the stuff that's gonna get you to hell and back, okay? You can get that stuff little by little. If you find yourself where you are working more and more with this kind of stuff, then yeah, you might want to, get yourself something a little bit more quality. These right here, they will bend if you put too much pressure on them. So for digging, they're really good, and I use these for my job. I'm working as a landscape gardener, so I use these every day in my job. But processing wood, this kind of stuff for the fire, making your bundles of wood, the secateurs are really good for that. Just quickly cut through, and there you go. And like I said, for making a debris shelter, or making a shelter where you might not have so many leaves, but what you may have a lot of pine burls, or you may have pine limbs or spruce limbs, this kind of stuff laying around on trees, this kind of stuff. You can cut some of that off without removing all of it, without ripping it off and giving a bad, because I've seen it. I've been places where people just rip stuff off, and you can see it from a mile away, actually. So where it's exposed wood's been ripped off, it looks really terrible. But if you go in there and you take your time, you cut what you need, and you lay it on your shelter to give you that insulation, especially the bottom part on the outside. You put a really big, you can't just put a few. You got to really put a lot of them on it. Also, if you're near a reed field, that kind of stuff, it comes in handy. You can quickly cut all of that stuff up, wrap them up in bundles, and use that to make a roof or a shelter, part of your shelter building for that. So anyway, that's it. If you have any other tools that you use that I didn't mention, I'd really appreciate you to put them down below in the comments section. I'd like to hear what you got to say. And if you think I'm full of crap, let me know that too. I want to hear what you got to say. And if you happen to like it, yeah, okay, I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. But anyway, that's it. go to a garden center and get yourself a good little hand axe or a little axe. I don't like them too small. I don't like anything really small in this right here. I happen to have something small in this right here, but you don't need something much smaller in this right here when this size right here will do. Okay, and let's talk about that real quick when it comes to an axe. Okay, you can actually leave the knife at home. If only you had only one tool you can bring with you, bring an axe, because you can do so much with it. Building shelter, you can cut through wood, you can hammer with the back side of it right here. If it's a really good sharp blade, you can even process animals, this kind of stuff with it. And you can also process wood for a fire. So, and what is this right here I have on it? What is this, 550 cord? And what happened is that I lent this thing to somebody, and they really bashed up this part of the handle, so I put something on it. I should have put some leather on there maybe to reinforce that, to give some protection. But anyway, that's kind of another video. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about proper ways of using axes and the safest way to use them, okay? And that's coming up in a future video. And yeah, not tomorrow, not today, but it's coming up in the future. Anyway, listen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, like I said, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends and enemies, and please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. You all have a good day. God bless you. Goodbye.